I wanted to show you how you can generate your own lists of random numbers and not have to use that big file that I posted for you on Moodle. So let's just get into Excel. Under the data menu, we have the data analysis option. This is that tool pack we added earlier this semester. If I click on that, I can scroll down and get to random number generation. We want to select that. This is how we're going to generate kind of a seed list, if you will, of random numbers. So there's not a lot we actually have to change here. The first thing I'm going to do is change this distribution from discrete to uniform. So what this will do is it will pick random numbers uniformly spread out, and what that means is it'll just randomly pick a number in between 0 and 1, the way we have it typed in now, and we can put that pretty much wherever we would like, in a new worksheet or in a specific range that we want to put or what have you. You can change these parameters to whatever you would like them to be. So if you wanted random numbers between, say, 5 and 8, you could have 5 and 8 in here. It'll put decimals in between 5 and 8. I'm just going to put it in for 0, 1 and start from there. So I'm going to change the output range because I want to put them in this sheet. And say I want to create 5,000 of them, so I'll say to go from A1 to A5000. And hit OK. And it'll put in 5,000 random numbers for you. Now, what this will not do is change them dynamically. So if you want to go ahead and have some numbers that'll change dynamically, what I want you to do is use that rand function that we talked about before in class. Remember, we'll have open and close parentheses. It doesn't really take any argument there. We just have to have them in there because every function call for Excel has to have parentheses on the end of it there. So if I just hit enter, now I can do that little trick where I can go to the little square on the lower right hand corner, double click, and it'll autofill all of them. So that gives me now a list of random numbers that will dynamically change. Notice that first, and I'm hitting the delete key. Notice the ones in column B are changing, the ones in column A won't. When you use the data analysis to generate that initial list of random numbers, those are static. They won't change. However, the ones in column B will dynamically change now. So if you want something that's dynamic that'll change every time you perform a new computation, you can do this to get at that. Say you wanted to do several columns at once. So let me just put the rand function in there again. Let me copy it over, several columns over. And then again, double click on that box in the lower right hand corner of the selection. It'll autofill. Now I've got columns B through N that are all random numbers, all between 0 and 1, and all of them now will dynamically change. Now again, so that first one in column 1 won't. Basically what I used it for was, well, I have a list of random numbers, but I also used it just for a placeholder so that I could copy over several columns of random numbers that are dynamically changing. So if you don't need that column A anymore and just want to use the rest, you can just delete the column. So now I've got what looks like 13 columns of random numbers that all dynamically change, and they all have a list of 5,000. They're all 5,000 long here. I'll just scroll down the bottom to show you that we really do have 13 lists of 5,000 random numbers. So now you can use this for your simulations, for your Monte Carlo integration in particular, so that you can do several simulations and average them. So anyway, I just thought you might like to see a video of that to demonstrate how you can generate them yourself, and then you don't have to work with that big file that I saved for you, or have to scroll down to a certain length to get a certain number of random numbers generated.